So, Sprint is a pretty hot topic in the Halo community, and 343 was definitely in a tight spot when it came to whether or not to bring Sprint into Infinite. On one hand, like it or not, Sprint has become a staple feature of modern FPS games. There are some exceptions, like the Doom franchise, but the majority of FPS feature a sprint mechanic, and it's something that many have come to expect and enjoy in their games. On the other hand, the most dedicated and long-term Halo fans wanted to return to the classic, simple movement of the original trilogy. I think Halo Infinite has found a perfect compromise to the problem, and many aren't really seeing it. I'm going to briefly go over the most popular problems that Halo fans have with Sprint and explain how Halo Infinite has tackled these issues. Number 1. Sprint means you can't shoot and is less dynamic. In the original, you could run around a map, you could shoot, throw grenades, melee at any time, at any place, whereas sprinting locks you into an animation. However, in Halo Infinite, there is literally almost seemingly no delay between sprinting and shooting. You could be sprinting 1 second and shooting the next. And the same goes for grenades and melee, so that one was a really simple fix, just allow people to shoot directly at a sprint. You can't do it while sprinting per se, but you can shoot immediately as soon as you see an enemy. Number 2, I heard that sprinting ruins skill jumping, which I find kind of strange because Halo 5 had the most skill jumping in any Halo because of all its crazy movement abilities, and Infinite is already showing some of that itself with these crazy slope jumps that people are already discovering just on the first day of playing. And finally, of course, sprint means that the maps have to be stretched to be larger. There was this really famous clip sort of showcasing these issues about Halo 5, how the remakes of the old maps were scaled up way bigger. And this is the really important part. Sprint in Halo Infinite, it's very important to understand, is barely faster than base movement. So maps don't really have to be expanded. Now, with it just being barely faster, I've seen a lot of people saying, then why have it at all? And I think it's not necessarily meant to be just a flat speed boost like most sprints in gaming. It's actually more unique. Although it does do that, it only does it slightly. It's actually more of a utility in Halo Infinite to give the player access to sliding. Infinite's movement isn't based around sprinting around, it's based on momentum. And the sprint is designed to impact gameplay and combat and map design as little as possible while allowing the player to build and utilize momentum. And I think that as the game actually gets out and people really get their hands on it and get a better handle of the movement in this game, we're going to see a lot of crazy momentum stuff with grappling hooks and sliding and slopes. I think it's going to be a really good time. I think Sprint in Infinite is pretty much the best that you could get. It's the best of both worlds. A really good compromise.